Green light.
Hello.
There you go.
Test.
Okay. Got it?
On the record, Walnut Street door is open to the public.
Great. Walnut Street door is open to the public. It is now 5:58. We are. I would like to call the public or open session for Lawrenceburg City Council Board of Works to order for March the 19th, 2020. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, just on Board of Works, we doing all.
Let's do Board of Works first.
Board of Works, all right. Board member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
City Attorney Del Will.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, the only item I have for Board of Works tonight is we have a service agreement for the fiber from Erie Cable Services, and I'd like to get it's a fiber optic construction service agreement is what I'm looking at, Mr. Roulette and Mr. Abbott. We'll take that one first. I would entertain a motion to let me proceed with this contract with Erie, provided that we go. There's a couple things that I just want to get clarification on, and I will bring those back to you if we have to change. Sorry about that. So the first item is the fiber optic construction service agreement with Erie Cable Services. Any questions?
I have none.
Have none.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next one is a separate agreement with Erie Cable Services for, it's a mapping services agreement. I would entertain a motion to allow me to sign this contract as well to move forward.
I'll make the motion to
Second.
approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, a couple things that has been going on for the last 4 or 5 days, with the COVID-19 virus. We implemented a policy, number one, for travel and things like that for our employees. And so at this meeting, and I think, did I send that to you guys? I will get you a copy of it tomorrow. We rolled it out to the entire workforce. And what it generally states is how we're treating, if somebody goes on a vacation and comes back, we're going by the same guidelines as what a medical provider or whatever would require. If they go out of the country or something like that, we are telling them that before they can come back to work, they have to call their medical provider. The medical provider then will go through a series of questions, okay? And then they will get a release to come back to work. All right. The other thing is we also have. I can read this to you guys real quick if you'd like.
That would be great.
Okay.
Very appreciative.
Effective immediately, any employee displaying COVID-19 symptoms is required to immediately notify their supervisor. Employees calling off work, sick for any reason, are required to answer a questionnaire as to these symptoms. This questionnaire is by their supervisor. We gave them, it's a 4 or 5 question questionnaire that's consistent with what we've been sent from CDC and State Health Department. In both instances, the employee shall not be permitted to return to work until a note can be provided from a licensed physician establishing that they are not suspected of or confirmed positive for the COVID-19. The symptoms we're talking about is a fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Employees are required to immediately inform their supervisor if the employee or the employee's immediate family has been diagnosed or presumed positive by a physician with COVID-19. or has been in direct contact with any person diagnosed or presumed positive for COVID-19. Any employee traveling anywhere beyond their home or place of employment must report to their supervisor before the trip occurs, or at a minimum before they return to work. And the things we want them to report is the location and duration of the trip, and including all stops. Management will determine, based upon COVID-19 data, whether these locations are at-risk areas. Travel to an at-risk area will result in requiring a physician's clearance before returning to work. What we're doing with these questionnaires is, after the supervisor does the questionnaire, it is immediately then given to Mike Abden and then reviewed by, we're keeping track of this on a spreadsheet so we can keep track of where our employees have been in case any of them ever would test positive down the road. We can get it to the local health department and the state officials. Okay, it's just a way of being able to track that. Self-disclosure will not impact the employee's employment, but will permit the city to ensure that steps are taken to create a safe working environment for all city employees that is safe as possible. Depending on the severity of COVID-19, the city reserves the right to require employees to self-disclose COVID-19 diagnoses and to test employees for signs of illness such as fever, and require employees to obtain medical exams. Prior to sending any employee for a medical exam or taking any employee's temperature, personnel should contact the HR department. Employees who develop COVID-19 or have an immediate family member who develops COVID-19 may be eligible for Family Medical Leave Act. Employees should contact your Human Resources for more information. The city reserves the right to update and modify this policy as needed. This was rolled out to all of the employees yesterday because we had people that were getting ready to take some vacations, and we needed to get it out. So what I'd like to do, and we've been given permission to be able to roll things like this out and then ask for permission from you guys to approve afterwards, based upon the events that are going on. Is that correct? That's the opinion we got from the
Yes,
state?
absolutely. It's a management decision, so it's a day-to-day operations, but we wanted the Board of Works to know about it and weigh in on it, in addition to what we're doing, rolling out next.
Any questions about that?
So, just to understand here, all employees are aware of this,
Oh, yes.
and how did they react?
Everybody was
Good.
fine.
We're good with it.
And
Okay.
in fact, later in the day, I met with my staff, the supervisors, and I said, hey, I'd like to hear any feedback after I left, because I went around and had department-wide, so they could ask questions throughout. And nothing. Everybody, has taken it very well.
I'm glad to hear that, because
Yeah.
it sounds like somewhat being personable upon where they're going, but
Well,
again, we have
yes.
this issue.
No, you're exactly right. It's just, we two things here. We're trying to, make sure the public and everybody's healthy, but we want to make sure our employees are given that same thing. So that is what was rolled out to them, and that was yesterday. So, any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve that COVID-19 policy.
So move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Something that is coming out tomorrow, and I will try to get you guys copies as soon as we get it drafted. We're working on it tonight, actually. It's going to be like a work from home policy that's being, it was advised again by the governor today on his press conference, and also at the federal level. So we're trying to come up with a way we're going to be able to run the city, and still, not people need to pay, but they also, we're going to have, every department will have some people in it every day. Police, fire, and EMS is the exception. They're full go, except maybe office personnel. But we have not got all the details on that, so I will get that to you tomorrow as soon as we draft it, and get you guys a copy to know what we're going to roll out to the supervisors tomorrow.
If I may, can I have a copy of what you read earlier too?
Yep.
As well?
Yeah, we'll get you copies of both.
Thank you.
We'll get you copies of both.
And then, if pleases the Board of Public Works and Safety, what the State Board of Accounts has requested, just in terms of a work from home policy, is that we would have a formal vote and be placed on the record and in the minutes. Doesn't have to be in writing because we're still writing it up, but it is acceptable just to vote that we would approve the employees being home because they will be paid on a 8-hour day, 40-hour a week, even though they're at home and they're on call, and also to approve the recording of their hours because their hours will still be measured and recorded, and that's what's important for State Board of Accounts purposes, is these guys aren't home unmonitored. They're home on a shift, start time, end time, and they will be called in and have to be here within an hour for any emergencies or any projects that they need to work on. So I'd like that on the minutes in the form of a vote,
So
please.
And this is-
we are allowed to call them to work?
Oh, yeah.
Do they have the right to say, no, I'm not coming in?
No, not if we're paying them.
Okay.
The other thing, part of that is what we're going to do is we already have a form that all contracted employees and salary employees have to fill out for their week. You know, whether they work Monday through Friday, they worked, or they were off sick, or vacation. We will do the same thing with every employee in the city while this is going on. We're going to make this a 2-week intervals, reevaluate every 2 weeks, see how it's going, if we need to tweak it or whatever. But we will have every employee going to have to fill out one of these sheets. They will put in, what time they started work, what time they quit. We're going to make it uniform across the city, okay, the start times and the quit times. And then it will be given to their supervisors. And then on Mondays, we have record for State Board of Accounts. So then nobody can be accused of ghost employment, things like that. Not by us, but even by the State Board of Accounts during an audit. Because now, they clock in and out, right? Where that won't be going on, okay?
Well, I
Now-
think you answered one of my questions.
Sure.
Because one of my questions was going to be, how long are we going to put this in place? So you're saying we're going by 2-week intervals
Yes,
and then
reevaluate.
reevaluate.
I mean, it may just be, we're going to extend another 2 weeks, or we're going to extend another 2 weeks. We're really taking. It just depends on what's going on. I guess this is changing every day, 2 and 3 times a day. So we're just trying to be cognizant of that. So that's the intention right now, Tommy. 2 weeks, and then say, hey, yes, we're going another 2 weeks, or hey, we're going to pull back, or whatever the case may be. But our employees will be required to report to work as needed when they're called. And the other part of this is, guys, very soon, I don't know what Lawrenceburg's doing, but some of the school corporations right now, some of the school corporations right now are, they're going to be doing e-learning the rest of the year. A lot of our employees have school-age kids.
Right.
So and we're being advised to make arrangements for these people. So this will help in that aspect as well.
As of 4:36 tonight, Governor Holcomb had announced all K-12 schools in Indiana, public or private, shall close and cease in-person instruction through May 1st, 2020. All schools are encouraged to work with their local governments and county health departments to determine appropriate community use for school facilities. I think that'll help in making the decisions of how that interacts with some of the workers.
Well, it's gonna be, because we got quite a few workers that are gonna be in that boat. But the main thing is and what we're gonna make sure that the public knows, and we'll get it out in a press release form tomorrow and radio, whatever, is your electric, water, and sewage will be taken care of. Your sanitation is gonna be taken care of. We're not gonna let any of our services go without being taken care of. I'm going to ask, some things of our supervisors tomorrow, and then everybody's been so cooperative. They really have, and so I guess what I am going to do, I'm glad you reminded me, Del. So in lieu of what the State Board of Accounts said, I'm going to ask permission to go ahead and institute this policy as soon as we get it written and rolled out to our employees. And that would be tomorrow is what our plan is, and maybe start this on Monday. But I will get you guys copies of it so you know what's being communicated. And we're hoping it's just a one-pager like this one was, and people can understand and what's gonna be expected. Tony, you fixing your mic?
Yeah, darn thing's broke.
So, any questions about that then?
I have none.
I'll make the motion for you to proceed with it.
Okay, so motion on the floor to allow us to proceed with the stay-at-home policy.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
May I ask you a question, Mayor?
Yes.
So the people would know, do I need to go up there?
Well, no, go ahead.
The only thing I was asking, so the people would know about their bill, if they have to pay it, or if they can't, there's nobody gonna be here, so it's
Well, no,
just.
we're gonna have people in every department will be manned every day.
Okay.
We
Just so
will
the
have
people
people
know.
here. It's just not gonna be the full extent of the city employees.
Hmm.
Yeah, but there will be people here to, yes.
Take your money and
Yes.
stuff, okay.
Yes,
You
sir.
can pay online, and we're waiving the online transaction fee.
Okay. Just so they know.
So, and guys, this, this stuff is gonna change, and we'll have to come back to you and whatever, but, I appreciate you giving us that ability. I think that's all I've got. All I've got in regards to the, executive session. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Or work session.
Executive, was the
Oh.
Board of Works.
I'm sorry, Board of Works meeting, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. It's been a long week.
That's all
Yeah, no
sure.
doubt.
Can I get a motion to adjourn the Board of Works meeting?
So moved.
Thank you. So that second.
Second.
All right. Meeting's adjourned to there. Yes, sir.
If that meeting's adjourned before we go to another one, I got to go.
Yeah, we'll take 5 minutes and then, council meeting.
Hey, so really,
Here's
like-
another 4-hour meeting.
literally
You
just came
didn't
out.
buy no pizza.
I gotta make a phone call.
Yeah, it's
hey, literally,
As the mayor.
with this going on, am I supposed to go up there instead of doing what I did? Huh? I'll never get that.